Do you remember being a kid and thinking you'd be a kid forever? Like the world was one giant playground built just for you, and the day simply refused to end? The only thing that could stop you was a parent insisting you go to bed. And even then, you knew tomorrow would be another epic adventure. And that ice cream, man, the giant one that melted all over your hand? No problem. You just licked it off and kept going. Everything was bigger, messier, and lasted way longer than it probably should have. Even those endless road trips, sure, they felt like they'd never, ever end. But the second you finally got to your holiday spot, it was as if time pressed pause and just let you live. Back then, anything was possible. There was always enough of everything. Time, sunlight, ice cream, space to run, magic, pure abundance. Kids don't just believe in it, they live in it. Scarcity? Not a chance. If you ran out of something, you just made more with your imagination. If you lost today, tomorrow was practically guaranteed to show up with a better offer. And here's the cruel punchline. Somewhere along the way, most adults lost that superpower. They swapped abundance for anxiety. Now it's all not enough. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough sleep, not enough, well, fill in the blank. Because if there's one thing adults are good at, it's making a list of shortages. What happened? When did we trade endless summers and sticky ice cream hands for the feeling that there's never enough of anything? And wouldn't it be just a little bit brilliant if we could get even a sliver of that childhood mindset back? Well, maybe today's the day you can try. So what happened? How did we go from endless summers and infinite tomorrows to the constant itch that something's missing? Somewhere between growing up and acting like an adult, we started keeping score. Suddenly life turned into a competition. Who's ahead? Who's behind? Who has more? Who has less? You learn quickly that mistakes cost points, that resources aren't guaranteed, and that everyone seems to be running out of something. School tests you. Friends compare. Grown-ups complain about bills, about Mondays, about just not having enough hours in the day. Scarcity becomes the water you swim in, even if you can't see it. It's like we trade our magic for math. We start measuring, counting, worrying. You hear "be realistic" 100 times for every "just imagine." Every little setback, lost keys, late trains, bad news, becomes more proof that the world is limited, that luck is rare, that fun is for later. Before you know it, "I'll do it tomorrow" turns into "I wish I had done it while I still could." But here's the crazy thing. Abundance was never about what you have. It's about how you see. Kids aren't rich in stuff. They're rich in wonder. They find treasure in pockets, adventure in puddles, magic in the ordinary. The only thing that really changed is the story we started telling ourselves. So maybe, just maybe, if we want to find abundance again, we have to start with the stories we choose. And maybe let ourselves get a little sticky, a little messy, and a whole lot more curious along the way. What would happen if you let a bit of that old summer back in? Let's be clear. Abundance doesn't mean pretending you're rich when you're broke, or trying to feel grateful for bills you can't pay. That's not optimism. That's stand-up comedy. And not even the funny kind. Real abundance? It's a shift in focus. Not to what you're missing, but to what's already staring you in the face. Usually the stuff you take for granted until someone points it out. So maybe you're short on cash, or time, or sleep. But what do you have plenty of? Maybe you've got an old friend who can make you laugh until your stomach hurts, or a pile of books you never read, or a talent for finding new places to walk, even if it's just to the same bakery for the 100th time. Maybe your real abundance is the number of conversations you could still have, the new ideas you haven't ruined yet, or the ridiculous number of times you can make your kid, or your neighbor, or your dog laugh with the same old stupid joke. And here's the secret. You don't need permission or resources or a plan to create abundance out of thin air. You can make up a story on the spot, invent a game while you're waiting for the pasta to boil, start a championship-level dance-off in your living room, or sing nonsense lyrics in the shower until even you crack up. Kids do it without thinking. Adults, for some reason, start acting like you need an official document to have a little fun. Abundance isn't about having everything. It's about making something out of anything. It's not a vision board or a 5-step plan. It's the moment you notice the sun feels warm on your face, or you laugh at yourself for absolutely no reason, or you realize you can always create a little more joy, even if you're just making a mess. So next time your mind goes down the not enough rabbit hole, try looking at what you can multiply, not what you can count. Make a list, not of your problems, but of what you can do with nothing. Jokes, dances, stories, walks, silly texts to people who get you, or just time spent staring at the clouds and making up what they look like. The world will always be full of shortages if you're looking for them. But the moment you let go, get a little weird, and do something pointless simply because you can, that's when abundance sneaks back in, usually wearing mismatched socks and carrying an ice cream that's already melting. And honestly, that's the kind of abundance you never lose. And maybe that's what abundance really is, not chasing more, but seeing what's already overflowing. The friend who calls out of nowhere, the laughter that breaks through even on a heavy day, the chance to learn, to give, to make someone else's world a little brighter, even if only for a moment. The freedom to start something small, a new habit, a new story, a new way to show up for yourself or for others, without needing anyone's permission. So abundance isn't just about fun for the sake of fun, though there's nothing wrong with a little nonsense now and then. It's about recognizing that you can always create something new out of what's already here. More connection, more presence, more wonder. Even on the days when your wallet's thin or your schedule's full, you can give away a smile, a story, a walk, a word of kindness, and somehow end up with even more than you started with. It turns out, the only thing that ever really runs out is the belief that you have to live in scarcity. Everything else, there's plenty, if you're willing to look and to let yourself enjoy it.